Okay.
Sing for us. Sing, Arlene.
That's okay. I'm ready.
Okay. Come on, you can sing. Keep it up.
That's fine.
Are you going to sing for us?
I guess.
You're dressed for the occasion. You're all Las Vegas down on us today.
I think I'm the...
We could do Sly and the Family Stone. I want to take you high. Boom, shakalaka, boom, shakalaka.
There you go.
My brother was a good singer and guitar player, and he said he always remembered the guitar chords, but he had a problem with words. So, look at my calendar. Today. Oh yes, this is the day I hear guitars in that house. That's okay. I'm ready.
Do you happen to know any attorney that's killer, knows the real estate law backwards and forwards, helps people
Mine were usually personal injury, but I have friends who are mortgage fraud PIs. It's Bert and Nancy Goodrich. And they would know.
Welcome to the fabulous Las Vegas Rotary Club. For this Rotary Club, our president, Barry Rassin, asked us to be people of action and to be the inspiration. Skills development is the inspiration that President Rassin asks of us, and the numerous local and international projects that we participate in and support are the action that he asks us to take. My name is Jim Cole, and I thank you for giving me the privilege and the honor of serving as the 96th president of the best Rotary Club in the world. Thank you. As we do every week at this time, if you are on Facebook and have your smartphone with you, I ask that you take it out and share our video link. And I would like to say a special hello to Marianne, who is watching. I saw on our Facebook post. So everybody say hello to Marianne. Thank you. On this day in history, in 1776, Benedict Arnold lost the Battle of Valcour Island on Lake Champlain. The only positive about it was that it delayed the British by 2 days and helped the Americans set up the defense of New York. In 1942, the United States defeated Japan in the Battle of Cape Esperance, and that was just north and east of Guadalcanal, so it helped stop the Tokyo Express from coming down. And for those of you who don't recall, our Marines had landed there, the Navy had to retreat, they were undersupplied, and we had to keep the Japanese from reinforcing, and ultimately we were able to take Guadalcanal and move forward. On this day, Pope John Paul the 23rd convened what's commonly now known as Vatican II, and it was an ecumenical council, and he sought reconciliation of all the Christian faiths, and he invited Eastern Orthodox, Anglican, and Protestant observers to Vatican II, which was a very big step at that time. Just so you know, in Florida, if you tie an elephant to a parking meter, you must pay the same parking fee as if you parked your car. So now you know. At this time, I'd like to call Michael Williams to the front.
I've said this before, but it's always such a great joy to be here amongst all of my Rotarian family. So many different faiths, religions, philosophies within this room, and we come together for this hour and a half every day and actually create world peace right here. This is something that's over 5,000 years old, and something which I do on occasion in the mornings. Dear God, you're inside of me, within my very breath, within each bird, each mighty mountain. Your sweet touch reaches everything, and I am well protected. Thank you, God, for this beautiful day. Before me, may joy, love, peace, and passion be part of my life and all those around me on this day. I help heal others, thereby healing myself. After this prayer, you should touch the ground with your right hand and then do the same to your forehead with great love and respect for Mother Earth. Amen. Amen.
Thank you. Mr. Casey?
Worst singer in the whole room to sing the song. I figured I'd bring the real singer up here so we could get the job done properly. So, God bless America.
God bless America. And beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance. Thank you. Please be seated. Arlene, if you could take the microphone to Bob Warner. I understand we have numerous international guests today.
Yes, President, we are blessed. We've got Murray from Calgary, and he's like almost a resident.
So I'm back.
There's no snow down in Palm Springs. Okay. Now, we go to Anthony from The Hague, Netherlands. He was here earlier. And now he's going back.
Thank you. Dear fellow Rotarians, I'm from the Rotary Club The Hague Metropolitan, from The Hague, Netherlands. The Hague is the world's capital of peace and justice. We have the Peace Palace and the courts, all international courts are in The Hague. We are the first English-speaking club in the Netherlands. And I have been here twice. This is my third time in 12 months. And last time I came here, I asked to partner with our club for a project in the north of Brazil. And this club was generous enough to send us a check for $1,000, for which I'm here to thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. Now we're going to Dover, England, UK, they call it. And Roger will say a few words. Could you stand up? Thank you. This way we can see you perfectly.
Well, good afternoon, fellow Rotarians and President and everybody. It's a great pleasure to be here. I've never been to Las Vegas, and what an incredible place this has turned out to be for us. Melanie, my partner, and I have been on a 2-week tour of California, and we've ultimately ended up here today, and we fly back to England tomorrow. But you know, I've learned a lot actually. Certainly, I won't be bringing an elephant to America next time, and I'm certainly not going to stand here and sing Rule Britannia or anything. But it's it's great to be here, and I'd like to bring my my banner from Dover, from our president. There's one thing that confuses me about America. I mean, Dover is the gateway to England. It's probably one of the most famous parts of Britain, but nobody seems to have heard of it over here. So I'm actually making my mark for Dover here, and I'd just like to say it's absolutely a pleasure, and thanks for your hospitality today. Thank you.
We're going to get you one to take home.
Thank you.
Thank you. Post. She's in Canterbury.
Thank you. Okay, visiting Rotarians, could you, that's it for internationals, Bob? Visiting Rotarians, could you raise your hands, please? Visiting Rotarians.
My name is Walt Parrish from Fresno, California, and this is my third or fourth trip here.
Welcome back. Visiting Rotarians, could you raise your hands?
Hello, George Gordon from the Rotary Club of Belleville in Cape Town, South Africa. We're still around and it's good to be here with you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome back. Visiting Rotarians, we have further visiting Rotarians?
Hi, how are you? This is Seiko Miyamori. I'm from Sunset Rotary, which is not exist anymore. And my daughter, she also want to join with the Rotary Club. So I just came to check and see, and I'll bring my daughter next week. And she's only 23, work for the EY. So,
welcome. Do we have other visiting Rotarians? We're not a guest of Rotarians. If you have a guest and you're a Rotarian, please raise your hand. Behind you.
Yoko.
Hello, everybody. Yoko, would you please stand? Yoko comes once every year to get guidance from Karen about what she should buy me for our anniversary. And today is our anniversary.
Hey.
45 years. Jim wants to know how she does it. It's because I am so nice. Can you imagine what I would be like if I didn't have her to... Oh, never mind. Here.
Do we have other guests of Rotarians today?
Good afternoon. I have my very best friend, Sue Loins. She's from California. She and her husband are out here for the motorcycle wheel and whatever else the show is at Mandalay Bay.
Welcome. Other guests?
President Jim, fellow Rotarians, guests, I'm Randy Frost. My category is education. My wife is my guest today, Gail Frost.
Welcome. Other guests of Rotarians?
Hello, Michael Gordon, and I would like to introduce my mom, Ina, the most expensive babysitter in the world, taking care of Samuel.
Welcome. Do we have other guests of Rotarians today? Any further guests? No? Okay, at this time, I'd like to go ahead and introduce the head table. Our speaker, Scott Allen, Kate Reeves, and Peter Guzman, who is the president of the Las Vegas Latin Chamber of Commerce. Please join me for a round of applause for all of our visitors and guests. like to thank the Rotarians that helped today. For setup was Jamie Goldsmith and Chan Lam. The greeters were Jamie Goldsmith and Carrie Groh. Invocation was Michael Williams. Song leader was kind of Steve Casey, but not really. Turn down is Chan Lam and Michael Williams, and our Sergeant at Arms today is Arlene. At this time, I'd like to invite past President Jim Hunt to the front.
Well, it's hard to believe, but it's that time again. Before we know it, it is going to be winter, and it's going to be Christmas time. It's going to be cold from the heat that we experienced all summer. Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians and honored guests. It's with great pride, it's my honor to announce the kickoff of one of the most beloved and successful community projects in the 95-year history of the Rotary Club of Las Vegas, Nevada. Today, we officially begin the 23rd Annual Santa Claus Program. In just a minute, Captain Kirk is going to play a video overview of Santa Claus in which the people in it, if they would have been acting, would have won Emmys and Oscars for everyone, especially past President Ginger Anderson. But there is no acting. There are only dedicated Rotarians and friends talking straight from the heart. First, here's a bit of the program's history for our new members and guests. Many of us here can remember taking part in the very first Santa Claus program in 1996 when 35 children and the same number of Rotarians shopped for shoes and clothing before the kids were then transported to the Desert Inn Hotel and Casino for some lunch, entertainment, and gifts. Since 1996, the program has steadily grown. In 2001, we exceeded the 100 children benchmark. In 2004, 200 children served, and in 2009, 300 children served. What was once a committee of 1 has now become a main Santa Claus committee of 14. We also now have hundreds of Rotarians from a record 11 Southern Nevada Rotary clubs taking part in what is, for so many of us, the most anticipated Rotary event of the year. So all that's left to do now is simply ensure that every one of you in this room, your family members, your business associates, your employees, and your trusted friends will again answer the call for help by sponsoring funds and by giving just a little bit of your time to shop for shoes and clothing with a child in need. And when you do, we'll have upwards of 800 people taking part in what is now the Santa Claus program of today. Every dollar pledged to Santa Claus never leaves the Santa Claus program. All funds received go directly into a restricted, separate account to ensure that pledges for Santa Claus are only used specifically for Santa Claus. Each donation of $100 sponsors a child in need. But if you're unable to sponsor a child or more, or 2 or 3, whatever you can do, your donation of any size, large or small, is of course critical to our continued success. With that in mind, if Captain Kirk will please come up, we'll take a look at the overview of the Santa Claus program, and I'll give you some statistics on our achievements. Santa Claus has now become a very large program that serves the needs of children throughout the Las Vegas Valley. Our goal is to provide winter clothing, shoes, and socks to children who don't have them. There are children in this valley that come to our program to shop with our Rotarians and volunteers that literally have holes in their shoes. And when we first started, there was only 35 kids that shopped with us. And in this last year, we had 317 children shopping at 3 malls simultaneously. It's a program that not only provides clothing, however, it also provides mentoring through our Rotarians and volunteers, their family members and co-workers shopping with the kids, helping to guide them to make good purchases for winter clothing. Rather than one large purchase, they can buy several pairs of pants, let's say, and a jacket and some shoes and socks.
Good eye. Okay, let's go try them on.
And after that's done, the mentoring continues over at UNLV, where we have football players, soccer players, cheerleaders out on the field. They play on the sports field for about an hour. And after that, they're brought into the lead auditorium, where they're given a lunch. They're also given a talk by usually the UNLV president welcomes them with a couple of nice talks from various guest speakers. And then after that, we give them a choice of a soccer ball, basketball, or a football on the way out of their mornings. So our goal is to first and foremost clothe them for winter, but also give them an experience that they'll remember for a long time.
sweatpants.
Sweats. Yeah, I got some pajamas.
A jacket.
I bought a dress. I'm gonna wear it on Christmas. Some plaid shirts because I like plaid stripes. And this hat.
And a Spider-Man jacket.
Yeah. Even has a hoodie.
That's the excitement that these kids feel of getting new clothes for the first time in many cases.
For them to come to JCPenney is a big day for them.
This is awesome. I've never been to JCPenney's before.
But these children, some of them, have never shopped for anything new before. This is, in many cases, it's their first new pair of shoes, their first new pair of pants, their first anything new. So we're giving them experiences not only for shopping, but the interaction between Rotarians trying to do good in the community and mentoring them.
Sky and I met, she is the most probably sweetest girl with the best manners. I've never seen somebody her age. She's 10. You would never know she was 10 because she has the best manners. And she has this style and taste from her older sister. Her sister's 18. And she really knew what she wanted, and she got to pick a lot of things that she enjoyed.
I heard this one kid saying, I hate being here, but at the end of the day, I heard him saying, I love being here with my circle.
We had a Rotarian a couple of years ago that had sadly recently lost his father. And he really didn't have the Christmas spirit, he had told me, going into the program. But he went to Santa Claus because he knew it was important to help the kids. And after he was done shopping and the night of our Christmas party, he came up to me and it was like he had almost been, reborn, if you will. He was so heartwarmed with the little girl that they shopped with, and he said it helped him to get through the passing of his father. The experience really is not only for the children, it's for the Rotarians themselves to experience what giving back to the community can be, and it's a direct, instant gratification when you see the smiles on those children.
It's those smiles at the end of the day that just, they warm your heart and bring a tear to your eye. To me, it's better than Christmas Day. It's the best day of the year.
Sky told me that the best part of her day was sharing it with me so far. It made me feel wonderful. It was really sweet.
Just makes me feel very fortunate for my family and so lucky that I can help some other children out.
I tell you, it makes you feel great. And we talk about Rotary, this is what it's all about. This is great.
Makes us feel, anything that we have wrong in our house, it's insignificant because this is what it's all about.
That Rotary Club, one of the students said on the bus on the way here, that Rotary Club really loves us, don't they? And I said, yes, they do.
This little girl, toward the end of our shopping day, said to me, she says, thank you very much. This is really great. And she looked very concerned. And she said, why would you do this for me? I said, because you matter to us.
So here are a few items of note. Mark your calendars for Thursday, December 6th. Check-in at each of the JCPenney stores begins at 7 a.m. at the Grand Canyon, Meadows, and Galleria malls. There'll be no weekly meeting that day, and our Christmas party is that evening. In 1996, with 35 children taking part in Santa Claus, we had a budget of $3,500. Last year, we served an all-time record of 365 children and provided goods and services that had a value of $148,735.38. And as you may recall, the total value of goods and services purchased for needy children, thanks to your donations since the start of the program in 1996, has now exceeded the once inconceivable milestone of $1 million. This year we'll be serving 16 different charitable organizations throughout the Valley, and we'll have 11 area Rotary clubs once again working together. The achievements that I've just mentioned are without a doubt something we can all be proud of. But in order for us to continue to move forward and help so many that are in need, it's critical that we realize the successes of our past do not guarantee our success in the future. So please help us continue to success by pledging as much as you can by experiencing the joy of helping others by signing up your loved ones, trusted friends to shop with us on Thursday, December 6th. That it has become. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you all to make this year's Santa Claus event the best ever. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We will have a brief break for fellowship.
Let's go ahead and put it in my. You can print it. Yeah. Turn it off. Is it live right now?
Okay, hope you enjoyed your fellowship. That was a brief one. We've got a lot to do today. Arlene, could you take the microphone to Russ Swain, please?
Is he here? Is he here?
Hold on. Here we go.
Oh, I like the hat, too. That's great.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians and guests. We do have a UNLV tailgate party, and guess what? It's 8 days away. And so there is a sign-up book, and I think it's right here at this table. Jamel's got it right now. So sign up. Come on out. We're going to, it's a Friday night game this year, guys. So it's been nice and cool Friday night. And Neil's company is, again, so gracious as to bring out the food, and they're going to cater the event. So it's much better in the past than when we used to barbecue, believe me. So come on out. It's a great time. We're going to watch UNLV. Hopefully we get another W. and have some fun. I brought my baseball cap for you guys, so everybody get fired up for the Rebels. Go Rebels. October 19th, 5 p.m., the west side of their stadium. It's the Scarlet parking lot. They are playing Air Force.
I'm sorry, did you see? Russ, I'm sorry, Chair Force? Is that who it was?
Thanks for letting me be of service.
Thank you. Arlene, could you take the microphone to Lucy Perotti, please?
Where's Lucy?
She's right there.
Hello, everyone. Just wanted to give you guys a quick reminder that the Halloween party is going to be Friday, October 26th from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Distillery in Henderson. There's a sign-up sheet going around for those of you who would like to attend the event. There's also, in the same green binder, there's the for anybody that wants to arrive early to help set up, and then anybody who would like to stay a little bit later. The canned food drive. Anything you can donate would help. So thank you.
Thank you. Could you take the microphone to Stu Lipoff, please?
Hello, everyone. You'll find in the today's wheel an announcement about the Wine to Water event. It's scheduled for Thursday evening, November 15th at 6 p.m. It'll be held at Total Wine at Town Square. They've given us the use of their tasting room. We will have a presentation from One Drop. Wines of America. We'll be serving cheese paired with the wines and also sandwiches after the wine event. It's $30 a person, which includes a $10 donation to One Drop. So it should be a pretty good deal and a nice evening. 6 to 8 p.m. November 15th.
Thank you. And that's in the Green Book? Yes, it's in the Green Book. So if you're interested, please sign up. And that's a great event to take friends to as well. I recommend it. Would you take the microphone to Marie Walsh, please?
Yeah, and Jamie just reminded me that the Walk for Water is this Saturday.
As she's saying, there's applications at the front if you want to do the Walk for Water as well.
Thank you, President Jim. Hello, fellow Rotarians. Now's the time to give a report for Breakfast with Books. We had a wonderful, wonderful session. We had 184 children, 101 adults, for a total of 285 people.
Hey,
so
fantastic.
We did very, very well. Very well. And I would like to thank the 13 Rotarians that showed up to help. Would you please stand up so we can give you a round of applause, please? Because you worked very hard for us. Thank you very much. Thank you. I want to make mention also that the children are given reading logs every month, and they're supposed to read 10 books for the month. Our children, 64 children, passed in a reading log that had read 10 books. So you do the math and see how wonderful this program is. I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. It was just great. And I also like to remind you that tomorrow is the Harvest Festival at Beckley. You didn't have to sign up. You should have signed up by now, but you really don't need to. If you can come, it's from 4 to 6. And thank you to the people who have brought in candy for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Arlene, could you take the microphone to Bill Houghton, please?
Thank you, Arlene. My name is Bill Houghton, and I am honored to serve as the Director for Youth Advocacy for the Las Vegas Rotary Club. And one of our biggest events for the district is Teen Leadership Camp, which will be coming up on November 30th, December 1st, and December 2nd down near Big Bear, California. And our club is sponsoring 12 8th grade students to attend the camp, and it is a magnificent experience for these youths. I'm opening it up to the children of our club and people that you know before we send it out to the schools in the next few days. So if you have an 8th grader or you know of an 8th grader that could benefit from this leadership camp, just be sure to let me know. Thanks.
Thank you. Would you take the microphone back, not back, but to Jim Hunt, please?
Thanks again, Mr. President. This is a report on our cigar fellowship that we had. Again, with a little bit of numbers for you. This was Cigar Fellowship number 17. This is the 17th time we've gotten together to do that. We had beautiful weather at the beautiful home of Tom and Jane Crow. We want to thank them, of course. Give them a round of applause. Tom was nice enough to also have the American League Division Series game on. Appreciated that, of course. We raised, on this one, $1,128 we netted. And to date, we've raised, just by sitting around smoking cigars and having a great time together, $15,711.73. So that's not too shabby. Congratulations to Chris Rodenfels. He won what was you could either describe it as a 300 cigar humidor, or a lot of the ladies were telling me that it would have held 15 bracelets, 10 necklaces, and 25 rings. So I'm not sure what he's going to use it for, but my guess is cigars. Want to thank Arlene Sawar, of course, again for donating back a humidor that she had won at the Cigar Fellowship before that, and for Janice Lenke for bringing a bottle of Grand Marnier. We raised a lot of the money that we raised through the raffle. So thanks to the prizes, thanks for buying tickets, and come out and join us. It's just a heck of a lot of fun. Thanks again.
Thank you. Would you take the microphone to Deb Granda, please? As we sunset one party, we're going to talk about another one.
So we have so many parties coming up, but the big one is our holiday party on December 6th. It's in the evening after Santa Claus, and we... Oh, good. We encourage everyone to come out that evening. We're going to be at Treasure Island. Fellowship amongst our Rotarian family, but also it's a great night to be able to celebrate the successes of that morning. So December 6th, Treasure Island, and I believe it's 6 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I think that concludes our announcements for today. We still have a raffle drawing, and hold your tickets because Scott has brought a book that he's authored, and so when he's done speaking, that we're going to have a final raffle, and we have a ticket already pulled for that, so don't throw your tickets away. For the right to pick a card and perhaps win half of the pot, which is up to $3,041 today, a ticket number is 206-4475. 4475. It's good to see you again. Excellent. Okay. You got your money back for today, right? For the Lowry's Bucks today, 206-4526. 4526. Okay, this we have one drawing to go.
Thank you, Jim. Speaker today is Scott Allen Frost. He's a native Nevadan. I've looked at the roster, and not too many of you are native Nevadans. He was born in Reno. He attended schools in Colorado Springs and also Reno. He graduated from Reno High School and also from the University of Nevada, Reno, with a with a bachelor's degree in marketing. He's an entrepreneur, a restaurant operator, father. He's been the president of the Titan brand, which is based here in Las Vegas. And over the past 10 years, he's directed, designed, developed, and operated restaurants and nightlife venues in Nevada, New York, and also Arizona. He has the Husan Cantina and Slice of Vegas Pizza Kitchen here and inside the shops at Mandalay Place, Husan Cantina in Summerlin's Boca Park. Significantly about the Husangs is that the Las Vegas Review-Journal recognized it as best margarita, and I can personally vouch for the quality and potency. In fact, the first one I had, I drank it at noon. It wasn't until noon or 2 o'clock that I could walk the way I thought I should be able to. He's remained active in the community, co-founding and chairing several trade organizations and nonprofits, which include the Technology Business Alliance of Nevada, the Nevada Center of Entrepreneurship and Technology, and the Spinal Injury Recovery Foundation. He has served as the president of the Community Lutheran Church, and he's a Paul Harris Fellow. In his spare time, he wrote his autobiography, Living on a Chair, Lessons of Love and Faith After Breaking My Neck, and he is a professional inspirational speaker. After all these accomplishments, these came after being paralyzed from the shoulder down. Today he's going to share his
Thank you, everybody. Can everyone hear me? Yeah. It was 9 years ago, Mother's Day, 2009. It was a beautiful day. I had just dutifully left my Happy Mother's Day message on my mom's answering machine, although I messed up and wished her a happy birthday instead. My kids' mother had come and scooped them up to take them to a movie, and I was working on a proposal. And a good friend of mine, Court Smith, called me and said, "Dude, you've been bugging me for years to take you on a motorcycle ride. It's a beautiful day. Do you want to go out?" And I said, "Yeah, let's do it." Half hour later, I was on a motorcycle. It'd been a while, a couple of years. I was a little nervous. And we were in Madeira Canyon, southwest of minutes. I started to get tired, and I drove up the side of the rain retention basin, and I went to park at the top. I didn't notice that at the top, the other side rolled off and dropped off about 5 feet. Just as I went to put my front brake on, my front tire rolled off that edge, and all 6'6", 270 pounds of me went flying over the handlebars, straight onto the crown of my head, snapped my head back, and I was instantly paralyzed. The first thing I noticed was that I couldn't breathe. I was gasping for air. My buddy said, "Dude, you hit your head pretty hard. Are you okay?" I said, "I've broken my neck. Call 911. We're in the middle of the desert. The first miracle that happened that day is we got a cell signal. And this is 2009. This is before smartphones and GPS. Sagebrush, left at the we don't have a landmark. Where are you? We're in Madeira Canyon. Where's that? Says, "Can you please send light?" severity of the injury. I knew because of my breath I didn't have much longer. Just then, now if you can imagine if you were trying to save your friend's life, how loud you would yell. He jumped up on the edge of the he screamed. The mountain bike rider turned his head, rode over towards us, said, "What's wrong?" Court explained to him, "We've called 911. They're sending a rescue unit, but could you ride out and try to direct them in?" 10 minutes later, a Henderson Police Department Suburban pulled up, and I thought, thank God I'm saved. He jumped down in the ditch, and Court said, "Do you have GPS? Can you talk to the firefighters to get them in?" He says, "I can't talk to the firefighters." He goes, "I don't have GPS." And my heart sank. He got on the do the math in my head. I've been in the ditch for 20 minutes. Takes them another 10 minutes to find me, another 15 minutes to scramble life flight. I got to survive another 25 minutes. The situation, grabbed the kids out of the theater, took them to the parking garage. He placed my phone down next to my mouth. "What do you say to your 14-year-old and your 16-year-old? I said, "I love you. I love you. Be good. Remember everything I've taught you. Take care of your mother. I love you." And I heard my son say, "Don't go, Dad." And my daughter screaming, "Dad, you can't go." Just then the police officer said, "Keep him talking. It's important to keep him talking." And he was rubbing my back. I couldn't feel it. And they started asking me questions. And I started to drift away. And for the first time it occurred to me that I'm going to die. And I said a prayer. I said, "Father, if you're going to take me quick and make it painless." And just then, this feeling of overwhelming calm and peace washed over me. If you could imagine every mortal worry and every physical pain suddenly being lifted from you, it was an amazing feeling. And if I thought, if this is what's waiting for us, I can't wait to get there. It was like being bathed in pure love. And just then the sensation of arms scooping underneath my legs and my shoulders and me being lifted up took over me. And I thought, I wonder what this is going to feel like. Suddenly, I woke up to the rotors of a helicopter and being jostled. 6'6" guy in a 6'2" spine board doesn't fit well in life flight, I found out. They're moving bottles of oxygen around, trying to get me to fit in. But I'm elated. I'm alive. I have a chance to see my kids again. I have a chance to watch them grow up. Being a businessman, I started thinking benchmarking. Who else has lived a life as a quadriplegic and been successful? I thought instantly of Christopher Reeves. And then I remember reading an article about Craig Nielsen, the CEO of Ameristar Casinos. Craig was quadded in a car accident and ran his casino empire and took it public from his bed. And I thought to myself, as we all do, I got a network. I got to find out who knows Craig Nielsen. We spent 9 days in ICU. At the end of the 9th day, they said, "Well, you got to go. We got you patched up." They fused my spine at 3 and 4. And I said, "Well, what's next?" They said, "Well, you can go to rehab." I said, "I don't have a drinking problem." They said, "Physical rehab." I'm like, "Oh, okay, physical rehab." "Well, where should I go?" And they go, "I don't know. No plan." So we immediately dispatched a committee, because that's the second thing I did as a businessman. I created a committee. The committee went out, we did some research, we found a place, Desert Canyon, and we went over to begin my rehab at Desert Canyon. And I'm thinking to myself, what are we going to rehab? How to blink better? How to smile? How to shrug my shoulders? How does this work? The intake nurse, Rhonda Olson, asked me this great question. How can we make you more comfortable? After 9 days in ICU, it was a welcome question. And I started to talk to her and said, Rhonda, how long have you been working here? She says, about a year and a half. What'd you do before then? I worked for a gentleman for about 10 years. I was assistant. I said, great. Who was that? Craig Nielsen. My first prayer was answered. I said, well, Rhonda, you and I are going to be spending some time together. I've got some questions for you. 3 days went by, and they got ready to start me on my rehab, and I was still wondering how this was going to work. And I was looking at the ceiling, and I have a neck brace on, and in order to come into my line of vision, you have to lean over me because I can't turn my head. And I looked up at that ceiling, and I said, God, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? Tell me what I need to do this. Just then, 5'3", brown-haired, brown-eyed, 105-pound, dripping wet Spitfire named Deborah Howell comes in, leans over my bed, and she says, 10% of what you're going to get back is going to be nature. 90% is going to be effort and attitude. Is that clear? I was like, yes, ma'am. Come to find out, she's a retired Navy captain. Now, anyone that's done any type of physical rehab knows you have a special relationship with your physical therapist. It's a love-hate relationship. You love them for the results, and you hate them for the pain they put you through. First thing we had to do was get me to tolerate sitting up so you can begin rehab. You cannot rehab someone that can't tolerate sitting up. Turns out if you have a traumatic brain injury or a spinal injury, we have an evolutionary response, a parasympathetic nervous system response that we can't control, where your body senses you have a spine injury or a head injury. So if you try to sit up, you immediately get nauseated, your blood pressure goes down, and you pass out because it wants you to lay down. So we have to try to train my body to overcome this parasympathetic nervous response through this wonderful device called the tilt table. I call it the Franken table. They strap you to a table, and they tilt you up degrees at a time, and they will keep you going until you pass out. A lot of fun. I had a really, really tough time with this. And the idea is to get you to 75 degrees for 15 minutes and try to tolerate that. They had to put pressure hose on my legs. They had to strap my arms in because my arms were so heavy, they would pull out of their sockets. We struggled for 3 weeks with the tilt table. Just then, we were informed that my insurance covered 20 days of inpatient rehab. And we were on our 18th day, and things had just started to move. My left thumb was moving, my right toe was moving. My mother had come to my bed, and she grabbed my hand, and I was able to squeeze it with my left thumb. And I looked at her, and I said, everything's going to be okay. And she does what she does best. She started thinking of things we needed to worry about. How are we going to do this? How are we going to get the insurance to cover us? So we got to pray on it. And then I started making phone calls. Just then, a fraternity brother of mine, Scott, comes in. He's like, gosh, Scott, what happened? And I tell him the story about having to say goodbye to my kids, and his eyes well up. He has twins. He says, I couldn't imagine saying goodbye to my kids. He said, what can I do? Now, when people visit you in the hospital, they're very polite. They always say, what can I do? I had lots of people visiting me in the hospital. So we got very specific, and we had this wonderful list. At the top of that list, and I said it half jokingly, well, if you know the president of my insurance company, you can tell him to let me stay here a little while longer. He says, who's your insurance company? I said, United Health. He says, huh, okay. Didn't see Scott again. He left, patted me on the shoulder, and wished me luck. On the 19th day, Dr. Berman, the medical director, comes in. He goes, I don't know who you know, but you know the right people. I just got a call from the president of United Health, and he said to keep you here as long as you need to be here until you get better. That is called faith. Turns out, Scott made one phone call to Peter Neal, the president of United Healthcare. He sat on a nonprofit board with him. He doesn't take any credit other than the fact that he said, can you help my buddy? We got an extra 51 days. In that 51 days, that thumb became a hand. My arm started to move, which meant I could work on feeding myself, stab myself in the eye a few times. I learned to stand with help. I could weight bear. We began to take my first steps. And I blurted out an audacious goal. I said, I'm going to walk into my first restaurant. Before I entered the hospital, we had just started negotiating the lease for what would be our first restaurant at Mandalay Place. I said, it's time to get back to work. And while we were rehabbing 6 days a week, we hooked up Wi-Fi, a fax machine, and I had a BlackBerry in my neck brace. We finished negotiating the lease, financed the restaurant, designed the restaurant while I was in the hospital. On January 21st, 2010, less than 8 months after my accident, I held my girlfriend's hand, I stood up, and I walked to the corner of the bar, and I ordered the first margarita at Husong's Cantina. Obviously, there's a lot more to that story in the 81 days that I sat in that hospital. And people ask me, what did you learn? And I learned a lot. But there are 5 lessons that I'd like to leave with you. The first one is nobody likes to take care of a jerk. I was 100% reliant on everyone around me to do everything for me. I'm 6'6", 270 pounds, former football player, basketball player. I used to love putting you in a noogie, or putting you in a headlock, giving you a noogie. I was a fun-loving guy, and all of a sudden, everything that I needed done, I had to ask. You better learn your please and thank yous, and you better be nice. But interesting, when I started running the company after I got out of the hospital, I learned that nobody likes to work for a jerk either. And the same lessons apply in business. Often we're told to be rewarded for being cunning and ruthless and tough. The exact opposite is true. If you're empathetic, recognize that your team has lives outside of work. They'll fall on swords for you. They'll be loyal. And if you're nice, they'll follow you anywhere. Lesson number 2, be the hope. People came in to visit me, and if they didn't see me smiling, if they didn't see me upbeat, do you think they'd come and visit me again? Nobody likes to follow somebody or visit somebody that's feeling sorry for themselves. And I learned really quickly, I had to assure everybody I was the same guy from the shoulders up. In business, the same thing is true. This room is filled with leaders. Your staff, your employees, your team look to you for emotional cues. If you come in a bad mood, if you come in with a frown on your face, if you come in crying about who did what to you or what the competition's doing to you, your staff will take cues from that. Just like the people in the hospital took an emotional cue from me. They wanted to see me upbeat. I had to show them that I was still full of hope. So the same thing is true in business. Your team needs to see that you're full of hope. Lesson number 3. Things don't happen to you. And you're saying, Scott, how can that be? Things happen to me all the time. Everybody's struggles are relative. You could have a serious illness. You could have had a bad cup of coffee. Either way, we emotionally react to that. And we say, why is this happening to me? Why am I having such a bad day? I can tell you, after 9 years, this didn't happen to me. This happened for me. Adversity holds lessons. And you just need to have faith that that lesson will be revealed. And along that journey, as you fight through whatever adversity you're fighting through, you have to know and have faith that there is a lesson in it, and you can learn from that lesson. I'm challenged. People ask, Scott, if you had it to do all over again, would you get on that motorcycle? And I can tell you, if you said you're going to get on that motorcycle, you're going to break your neck, and you're going to end up right where you're at, and you're going to end up speaking to Rotary, I'd take the life I have now, the lessons I've learned, getting able to watch my kids grow up. I just walked my daughter down the aisle last Saturday. Versus not getting on that motorcycle and not knowing the life that I would have now, I'd get back on that motorcycle because this happened for me, not to me. Fourth lesson. Don't listen to they. I'm still asked, well, what do they say? Who's they? I have two theys. The surgeon that did my surgery that I saw the day before my surgery and 6 weeks after, and the therapist that helped me in the hospital. If I would have listened to they, I wouldn't be doing what I was doing today. Deborah let me know that their goal, when they looked at my chart, was to try to get my right hand moving, because it's the difference of being able to possibly feed yourself and steer your own power wheelchair versus having to do it through a suck and puff and not being able to feed yourself, not being able to write, not being able to operate a phone, not being able to tap on a keyboard. So they just wanted to get my right hand moving. And they never thought that I'd be able to do what I could do now. My doctor used to be very, very upfront with patients that had spinal cord injuries and tell them whether they would walk or not. I said, don't ever, ever, ever tell somebody they're going to walk or not walk, because you don't know. And I proved him wrong. And to this day, he says, I'll never tell another patient they won't walk again because of what you did. In business, how many theys are out there? A lot of theys. Economists telling us this, competition telling us that, staff telling us can't do this. Ultimately, it's up to you. You don't listen to they. You alone determine your outcome. Which leads me to the last lesson, and one of the most important ones. And you heard it before. Two things you have 100% control over in this life: your effort and your attitude. Nobody dictates your effort and your attitude. You don't wake up and they say, hey, Jim, by the way, you're going to give about 50% effort and you're going to have a crappy attitude today. The only person that decides that is you. Think about it. Two things you can control in any given circumstance are your effort and your attitude. I have taken that lesson in these 5 lessons, and it is tested every day. I'm in the restaurant business. It's the only business where you get to wake up and everyone's graded you on Yelp and Facebook and Google. I'm the administrator on all of our social media accounts. I get a nice little readout of how everybody enjoyed my food or worst food ever. If I let that get me down, I'd walk in, send a bunch of negative emotional cues. The staff had had a bad day. I have a choice. I can take those reviews. I can take what people are saying. I grouse to myself a little bit. I'm human. I have an ego. But when my assistant swings my legs over in the morning, pulls me up, puts that walker in front of me, it's another day. And I get to have a good effort and a great attitude and go out there and make a difference. Thank you very much. I appreciate you letting me make a difference. Questions?
Thank you for the story, very emotional. Some of us have been through similar journeys, and I thank you for bringing me back into my awareness. You have alluded to several occasions where you put your trust in the Lord. How important is your faith to you?
Not to be coy, but you'll have to read the book. The subtitle is Lessons of Love and Faith. I would not have been able to persevere through this and still without my faith. It was an absolute cornerstone. I was raised in the church. I had drifted. I was a, once a month guy. You go to church on Sunday, forget the sermon by Tuesday, and you're out partying on Friday, right? This really helped me reconcile my faith with my business and gave me the courage to share my faith, because that was something I had never done before. And it was one of the reasons that I was spared, and one of the reasons I was given this recovery was so I had a story to tell and to help people discover their faith and reaffirm their faith if they had it.
Amen.
I don't know.
You got to tell them about the guy speaking in tongues.
Oh. So I was visited when I was struggling with the tilt table. A friend of mine, and I use the term friend loosely because the last time we were together, there were expletives exchanged over a business deal gone wrong, and I wondered what the heck he was doing in my room. And he said, "Scott, can I pray on you?" I said, "Pray on me." I had a lot of people pray with me, or pray next to me, or pray for me, but not pray on me. Paul proceeded to move his hands up and down my body, and he started speaking in another language. And my dad was there, my son. For your son, and he would start talking in that strange language, and Dad said, "For your dad." And then all of a sudden, I started to feel this warm sensation over my body and this purple light swirling behind my eyes. And he said, "Show us an irrefutable sign you are going to heal your son. Show us an irrefutable sign that you're going to heal your son." And just then, my legs lifted off the foot of the bed about 4 inches and then laid back down. And I couldn't move a muscle. And my father, who was a conservative military guy, you got to prove it to him, almost stumbled back. And he said later, he said, "Scott, I felt like saying hallelujah." And I said, "That would have been a good time to do it."
At 88 years old, I seem to be complacent in the fact that I've been there, done that. And just want to thank you for teaching me that even after 88, you can still be inspired by many exciting things in life. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you. 88. Right on. Anyone else? So, great question. Turns out through my wonderful networking, a gentleman by the name of Chris Cosenza worked with Craig, and Rhonda told me how he was able to do everything, kind of what his systems were, and Chris was able to tell me how he conducted meetings. Rhonda said two things about Craig. Said he was the most driven man I've ever met, one of the most brilliant minds in business I've ever seen. But he gave up on himself. And he did everything from his bed, rarely got out of the house, and didn't live much. So it was an interesting dichotomy. I said, well, I don't want to have everything be about business and not try. So I poured everything I could on the physical side and did everything I could on the business side. But there is a balance, people. There's a life to be lived. I got a second chance. I got to attend my own funeral. I got to have hundreds of people tell me what I meant to them, and it was a wonderful, wonderful gift. And I put the phone down with my kids and started listening. The biggest gift you can give somebody is your attention. Be present. Ever heard that, be present? You know what that means? We're so poor at it these days. We have so many distractions, and that, God bless that smartphone, I think it makes it dumber. You know, we've got to pull our heads up and start connecting again on a social basis and listen to one another. That's all we got to do is just listen. Be there. Be present. Be helpful. Be courteous. Be kind. Have humility. Have integrity. Be human again. But that's what I try to do, is just really try to be present.
This is my ultimate compliment. You remind me of another person, Johnny Erickson Tata.
I don't know Johnny. Sounds like a great guy. I don't. I'm sorry.
She's paralyzed.
Oh, I'd love to meet her. She's great. So shameless plug, if you want to know the whole story, I would encourage you to read the book, because the story in its entirety, I would not be here without these two wonderful people, known as my parents, Randy and Gail. I don't know where I'd be without them, and they still help me to this day, and this is why I do what I do. God bless them. Go to livinonachair.com. It's LIVIN onachair.com, or Amazon. And my name's Scott Allen Frost, and the reason I use my middle name is not because I'm in trouble with my parents, but because there's a Nebraska coach who's not doing very well. His name's Scott Frost, and then there's also a mystery writer goes by the name of Scott Frost. So if you looked up on Amazon, you wouldn't find me, you'd find him. So if you go to Amazon, Scott Allen Frost, it'll pop right up, and you can get the book.
We also have a lucky person here today who was going to walk out of here with the book, and that is ticket number 206-4528. 4528. Steve, come back up, please.
Yeah, sure. I think we had yet another question over there too. I don't know. All right. Man,
Congratulations.
This guy's a big winner. All right.
Scott, on behalf of the Las Vegas Rotary Club, thank you very much for coming and talking and sharing. I would like to present you our Share What You Can award, and we are going to give a meal to a needy veteran in your name. So thank you very, very much for coming.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. So as we leave here today, let us go forth into the world in peace. Be of good courage. Hold fast to that which is good. Render to no one evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the afflicted. Honor all persons. Love and serve each other. Rejoicing in the fellowship of Rotary. Be people of inspiration. Be people of action. Meeting adjourned.